Okay, so thanks very much for everybody, boys and girls, to join us for this journey. We're gonna create a so-called intelligent train during our 3-day course for our 2023 Victoria AI Winter Camp. So you guys may wonder what is the intelligent train. For a sec, let me mute us. Okay. So this is the story background. I'll tell you guys. We have a multiverse that beyond our universe. It's called Yamiverse. And as you can see from the right side, this image that we are showing what is happening in this universe, right? We have the cotton candy as our galaxy. And if you enter this universe, you will see yummy foods all around, right? We have the cupcakes and all the fruits all are priced on this ground. And I actually have an album for what we have in there. I'll show you guys. Yeah, this is what I get from the people from that universe. This is our galaxy. And if we get into the ground, we have a candy house and ice creams, like all the buildings and all the stuff are built up on yummy food. And as we are celebrating our Christmas now on Earth, we have on this universe in Yamiverse, we have a Christmas, which is like celebrating the cheese. That's why the Christmas tree there is called Christmas tree. You can see the Christmas tree here is pipe up all the cheese, right? And during the Christmas, we also have our cheese Santa. So cheese Santa will visit your house every night during the Christmas. On that specific night, it will also bring the cheese as a gift for kids. Yeah, so this is what happens for the Yamiverse. However, the problem is like the Yamiverse is beyond our world. So how can we visit this Yamiverse? We have an ancient scroll and tells how we can connect to that universe. Okay, so the scroll decrees one must summon their intelligent twin, which is your agent, which is your delegate in that universe. Okay, you need to generate that intelligent twin in order to establish a connection to the universe. And then once you get connection to that universe, you can learn about Yamiverse stories and chat with its people. So you guys may wonder, what does the intelligence twins looks like? Actually, I have a connection to that universe. Okay, so I'll show you how does it looks like. Ta-da! Yeah, so this is my universe here, my connection to the Yamiverse. So yeah, this is the order that I can summon my digital twin there. This is my digital twin, which is also having the name of Daniel Pan, but it's coming from the Yamiverse, right? And his role in that universe is also a teacher, an AI program instructor. And I can chat with this. Let me try that. So, hello, would you tell me something about yourself?
Hello there. My name is Daniel Pan, and I am the instructor for the AI course in Yumiverse. I have a strong background in both computer science and culinary arts, and I am excited to combine these two passions in teaching young learners about AI and its applications in the world of food and flavors.
I see. So there could be, I guess, many differences about the AI programs in my universe and your universe, right? Would you tell me?
Absolutely. While the fundamentals of AI remain the same, the applications and examples we use in the Yumiverse may differ from other AI programs. Our focus is on using AI for creative expression in the culinary arts, while other programs may use AI for different purposes such as data analysis or automation. However, the principles and concepts learned in this course can be applied to various AI programs in different universes.
Oh, that sounds cool. So I would like also learn from you that how many classes are there in your program?
Our program consists of 8 weeks of classes, each covering a different aspect of generative AI in the Yumiverse. That's a total of 8 classes in our program.
Yeah, I see, right? So I build a connection with that universe, so I can chat with the avatar here. I guess you guys all may also wonder, if you want to get more about what happens in the Yumiverse and what's the delicious food there, and what's the story happening there. Let's continue that journey. So the first thing is about how to summon your intelligent twin, right? Just like I did, I get a connection to my digital twins in the Yumiverse. There are basic steps. Basically, we have 4 steps here. The first thing is that you have to master the power of generative AI, which I will tell you later. And after that, once you get that power, then you need to utilize that power to forge your chain of thought. So you may be wondering what is a chain of thought? That's a very, very, very fresh concept that we introduced for generative AI, which is like ChatGPT or maybe other applications you used before. I'll tell you more about that later as well. And then once you forge your chain of thought, which is like how this AI agent should act, right? Then you need to give it the organs like the face and the eyes and the mouth and the ears to allow it to hear from other people and respond with words. And you need to also give the impressions like just like the avatar you saw before, right? I know that guy is more handsome than me because he has more hair than me, right? Um, that's why I want to create another twin of myself. And what what does it matter, right? I want a better look in that universe. So I build like that one. You guys can also do that, right? In another universe, you can fly your imagination. Whatever look you want to make yourself and chat with the intelligent. Yeah, that's the next step. We create the avatars. And after that, we need to host your intelligent twin into outer. Yeah, the outer is the place that we call a web application that you need to host it on. So it's kind of a ceremony. And after that, you can get a connection and summon the connection to the universe, to the Yumiverse. So today, what we're gonna do is the step 1, how to master the power of generative AI. And for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, we will come to the step 2 and step 3. Okay. And for today's plan, step 1, we master the power of generative AI. I want you guys to follow me and we together to witness the power of the so-called generative AI. I'll explain what is generative AI. And after that, I'll introduce some generative AI tools to you guys. I know that your parents shared some email addresses in the WeChat group yesterday. So I guess most of you, I already asked my colleague to register your emails to the generative AI tools. So I'll share you the URL so you can directly access to see if there's any problem. And after that, once you get access to the generative AI tools, then we're gonna understand the generative AI and other AI, some background knowledge, and understand what is the API, which is a very important concept for our following sections. Yeah, so this is today's plan, step 1. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing is about what is generative AI, right? You guys may heard about it, or maybe not generative AI, but at least you heard about ChatGPT. How does ChatGPT working? And some of you may have already used that before, right? So what is generative AI? So the story starts before the generative AI. Okay, so there were also AI applications before generative AI. And we usually utilize the artificial intelligence for 4 aspects, the most usages, right? The first one was a classifier. Classifier is the application that tells what the input materials looks like. So for example, if I input an image, a photo, a picture, The AI is supposed to tell me that inside this photo is a cat or dog, right? So this is a classifier. It's basically like a couple of classes there, type of the things or the objects there, and the AI is supposed to tell us what is it. As the second one is called the predictors. So the predictors is according to our input information, it's supposed to do the prediction of what's fall down. Like for example, for the weathercast, right? As you guys may know that every night, maybe when you are listening to the radio or watching TV, and you see the weathercast for tomorrow's weather, your hometown, maybe in Toronto, maybe other places. And how does it come out, right? How can the machine to predict what's the weather for tomorrow? So this is based on the big data that we introduced for the
有汗
historical.
吗？哎，本来我还想跟你说呢，人家屋子不让穿布子，你出来，然后再把你的脏鞋换。快
Sorry.
退出。
So someone was not on mute.
Yeah, please, all the parents help the kids, boys and girls, mute yourself. And also
Oh,
please,
yeah.
help mute. Yeah, okay. It is great. Yeah, even me myself listening now. Thank you.
Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so this is the second kind, right? It's called predictors. We try to predict others. And I know that some of your parents may like play with the stock market, and they may also want to know what's the expected stock price for tomorrow, right? For Tesla or maybe Apple. That's also kind of a predictors. That's the second usage. And beside the classifiers and predictors, we also have the recommendators, which is doing the recommendation service for you guys. I know some of you may play with TikTok, with some other social platforms, right? So how does the platform predict or like recommend to you the next post that may bring up your interest, right? So that's how does the recommendators do. So basically, it's like recording the big data from your historical records. For example, you were staying in some short videos for many times. You give it a likes, or you like repost it somewhere, right? So according to all these historical records, it will give you a recommendation to see which content may fit your preferences most, and then push that content to you, like show you the next video, audio, or video, or from a Twitter, right? So the next post, what would be the recommendations for you? So that's a recommender. Yeah, and the last one is clustering. Clustering is basically like, it's not telling about A is A and B is B. However, from a huge amount of data, it will figure out what subset of this data is approximately to be like called as a class, right? It tells what could be the cluster, like we detect the unknown patterns and then forge some concepts accordingly. Yeah, so before generative AI, this is like 4 major usage of the AI technologies. And they have a common pattern here. The pattern is they don't output the new things. They just figure out, is like doing the multi-choice questions, right? The classifier is basically telling you that, okay, the next item is a cat or dog, but there's a limited scope of the choices for the answer, right? It's either cat, dog, or maybe some other animals. And it's just like to pick up one item from the list of the choices. Predictor is the same thing, right? The stock price can be up to 10% or down by 15%, which is a disaster. But whatever, that's like a limited scope of outputs. Recommendators is also the same thing. It's just to pick up the right answers from the limited scope of the answers, potential answers, right? So what makes the generative AI different is that the generative AI is creating something new that never happened before. It's not going to be just a cat or dog. It can be generate some new creature with a combination of a cat and dog, right? It's not just like predicting the weather to be like up by 5 degrees tomorrow, or maybe like tomorrow is going to be rain, with maybe 40% of chances, right? It's not just like that. It can draw some pictures about the rain of the yummy food, right? That's pretty much like something new that never happened in the world before. The recommendators is not just to pick up the best thing that we can provide for whatever the human created. Rather than that, the generative AI can generate new videos and just push that videos to. Clustering is the same thing, right? It's not just like I do the analysis according to the existing data. It's not just like that. It can create a new data. So that's the power of generative AI. Here are a few examples, as we can tell from the Yamiverse, right? It can generate images like the cheese Santa. Cheese Santa never been there before. It does not exist in our universe, but it can generate the new image of the combination of these two weird concepts together. There was no a human being drawing this photo, drawing this picture, right? It's just like generated by AI. Generate answers is the same thing, like what we see from the ChatGPT, right? We give it a question, and the ChatGPT's answer is not according to existing answers that are searched from the database. It's like generate with their own illustration or maybe their imagination. Okay, and generate the videos. Like these videos were never before. Nobody was like taking a camera to shoot this one on the beach, right? It's just generated from a few text. I just input a text saying that generate a video that a girl is walking on a beach. That was the only thing I did. So this is the power of generative AI, right? And the generative AI is a new generation, which is totally different than before. Okay, so you may wonder, so how can we utilize this generative AI? Or sometimes we call it large language models. So I'll give you an example that I got from Yamiverse. Okay, I show the data here. So this is a table of data. I got this data from the government of the Yamiverse. This is basically a survey about all the most liked food items in the Yamiverse versus all the different peoples. The people here, Jura, who are living in the deserts, and ocean observers, they are living in the ocean. Woodland wanderers, they're living in the woods. Pinnacle pathfinders, they're living in the mountain. Frost forerunners, they're living in the Iceland glacier, right? And urban uplifters, they're living in the cities. So the 6 kind of people construct major people groups in the Yamiverse. And they are doing the scoring for the food items listed here on this corner. Right? You may wonder what galactic garlic bread, meatballs, and starlight spaghetti. Yeah, all these are the top food items that are loved by the Yamiverse residents. Sorry. And all these items are the scores that the people gave to this food. Like for example, the Pinnacle Pathfinders, their favorite food is the comet cookies, right? So it gives the 10 as a score. And the urban uplifters really don't like Nubla noodles, so it only gives the 1 as a score. So this is the data sheet. So when we are trying to analyze all this data, so usually the conventional ways we do is to write the Python program to tell what are the features of this data, right? We want to figure out who loves who first, which 2 people having the similar taste, right? So what we need to do, usually we need to learn from programming in Python and then come up with the right answer. But now, with the power of generative AI, everything changed. So here I'm showing you the ChatGPT 4, and let me show you how does it work. I'll just simply attach this data and start a conversation with it. Tell me about the data. What's it about? Yeah, so you guys see that with just a couple of seconds, it can already come up with all this information, right? It reads the data sheet and tell me that this table is titled as the Yummiverse food scores, and it has the food items and the common different groups of the categories of the raters. And so I asked them, so which are the top 3 rated food? So from this answer, you can see that it automatically did the calculation about average score across all the people, right? It tells me that the Comet cookies has an average score of approximately 7.17, which is the highest. And also black hole bagels, which is like 7.00. And what's even better is that it also provides you how to use the Python for the coding, rather than like explore by yourself, like check the documents to find out how to calculate that. Yeah. And the next nice question is, I want to know which 2 groups of people have similar, which groups of people have a similar taste, right? So I'm asking this question is because there are 6 groups of people, and some of them are loving the very similar food to each other. Some are maybe like with different taste, right? So I want to find which groups of people have the similar taste to each other. So if I open a restaurant in some place, I need to do the study. Yeah, so it tells me that the Dune jurors has a very similar taste to Pinnacle Pathfinders. Yeah, but simply by the words is not very enough. So I also want to ask ChatGPT to generate images for me. Can you visualize the relations? Yeah, so it draws a picture. So what does it mean? Is that for 2 dimensions, from either the x-axis and the y-axis, is like correlated score between 2 people. So if the score is higher, it means that they have a better similar taste to each other. And if it's getting more dark blue, it does mean they have quite different tastes. right? So you can see that the urban uplifters don't have very similar taste with the ocean observers, right? Because this is like a minus 0.35, which is like a low user score in here. However, there's a 0.4 score between the dune drillers and the pinnacle pathfinders. Yeah, so they may like love each other, like sitting on the same table to take food. Yeah, so this is their power. And so next question is, I wonder what's a black hole vacuum looks like. So we can see that it's trying to create an image, like using its own imagination. Because this is really something that in another universe, we never saw such things before in our universe, right? But you can see that this is a black hole. Yeah, it looks really like this. Yeah, I like it. So from here, you can see this is what the most advanced large language model do today for the generative AI, right? Basically, it can understand what you are talking about from where you can see from our conversation, right? For every question I give it to him, it can understand what I was talking about with the context. And it can also read from document, right? It read from my spreadsheet and initiate the data analysis. And it can also try to imagine and draw the pictures. And okay, so for the internet part, I can also ask a question like, do we have similar concept of yummy words in our universe, right? I want to explore if there's another similar conception here in our world. So this is how does ChatGPT suggest to me. Would you check internet to give examples about yummy verse? Oh, looks like it's not very stable now. I'll give it another try. Wait a sec. Yeah, so what did the ChatGPT do was that it did a quick search from the search engines like Google or Bing and find all the answers related to my questions, right? So that's why I put in here, right? So it can go to the internet to fetch the necessary information in order to answer the user's question. And it can also understand the image content, as I just showed you. Yeah, so this is my demo about how does it analyze the food rankings for the Yamiverse. Okay, so you may wonder, yeah, now I know how does the generative AI work, right? It can generate the conversation and read from document and draw the images and access to internet. It can do all the things. So the next question is that what's the limitation for it, right? So why we still need to master the power of generative AI? Because like ChatGPT basically can do everything already. Why we don't directly go there and chat with it, right? So the problem of the ChatGPT itself, the first thing is about the pricing. In my previous demo, what you can see from the screen when I was asking to generate the images, basically we were I was under the subscription of ChatGPT Plus, which is costing $20, $20 US every month. So if somebody want to access it for free, or maybe like with the lower price cost, it's basically impossible directly from the ChatGPT for now. Because like you guys may heard about that, under this we're utilizing GPU powers, which is very expensive, right? So that's why we can't rely on ChatGPT Plus to serve everybody. And the second thing, which is also the key thing, is that we can only use all these powers on the website of ChatGPT itself. We can't host all this content to other places. For example, as I showed you guys, right? This is my own website, right? This is my own website. If we don't do the engineering, if we don't master the power of generative AI, we basically can only use the ChatGPT in its own context only. We cannot host it to other websites or apps or games, okay? So this is the second limitation. And the third one is that it can not directly use the huge amount the knowledge base by yourself, provided by yourself. You guys may heard about GPTs, which is like allowing you to use some small amount of data. But if the data, your own knowledge is big enough, it's impossible to utilize that in the context of ChatGPT itself. Yeah, so that's three limitations. So in our Sage program, basically we will tell you guys in the future courses to learn how to utilize the application programming interfaces or retrieval augmented generations to, I would say, the remedy these limitations for the generative AI itself. Then we can ask you to host all these applications and the chat experience to your own apps or websites and utilize your own knowledge. Okay. So from here, so here we have, I know that some of you may already register for ChatGPT, so you can directly use that as the generative AI tools. But for those who do not have access to generative AI tools, we actually provided the one choice for you, which is hosted on our own website. Let me paste the link here. Yeah, so I guess for most of you guys, we have your emails registered in this portal already. So if you log in there, you'll see all these tools here. We can start a chat, we can start generating the images or the videos or music or generate the code here. So I want you guys to try that. Because like your parents provided me a list of the emails yesterday. I guess like most of them. I guess most of them has already registered on this portal for the paid plan. Okay, so if you still stay with the free plan, when you log in, you will see like just a 5 credit on the corner of this page. And if that's the case, please let me know. We will have later on, we will have a 10 to 15 minutes break. And during that, I will let you guys to register on this portal for the paid plan for the next whole month. Okay. I will manually add that. Okay, so I guess you guys can start trying this tool to see if you can log on it. And let me know if there's any problems. Okay, so I'll take a pause here. So if you guys have any questions, we have 15 minutes. I see Aiden. So in order to log on, okay, so Aiden is asking the question. He can. So Aiden, just answer your question. Of course, you can use 3.5 for ChatGPT, but 3.5 ChatGPT does not have the functionality to allow you to generate some multimedias like the music or the images. It can simply do the chatting, right? So that's the limitation. Of course, you can go ahead and use the 3.5 for it can actually generate the code or the chat, which is fine. But if you wanted to, if you want to add functionalities without subscribing to ChatGPT Plus, then one option for you is to log on our tool. I set 1 month free plan for all you guys already. Okay, so Molly is asking, I can log in, but just the free. Okay, so Molly, please private your mess. Yeah, private message me your email address. I'll log in. Okay, I do. Wait a second. Okay, so Molly, would you try again? I just register your account. Molly? So Wei Lian, I guess your email is okay, let me try. Yeah, if it's a school one, maybe it's blocked in your email, but let me try it. William, please try again. I guess I got you the promotion. Pro version. Yeah. Yeah, so if you only have 5 generation limitation, please direct message me your email. I'll register you for the paid plan. I see a few guys of you are pinning me about this issue. Yeah, so just give me the emails. Okay. ，Aiden, you can try again. Aiden. 可治，于可治 you can try it again. ，Oops. Duplicate. I don't have. So, oh, okay. So Sherry, okay. So for all these accounts, the default password is Sage, SAGE. You can try that. Okay, so I see 5 of you told me that it's already working from your end, right? So, I'm not sure who else has problem. Cool. Abby Shi, you can open the website. Are you using Chrome? What does it tell? Is that the access denied or for therefore? So Bill P, as I just said, right? Please provide message to me, your email address, and then I will grant you the pro plan, which is like unlimited access. So is it good for everybody now, or just ping me if there's other issue? Okay, Bill, I get your request. Wait a second. Serena, the information you post to me is not email. Email is supposed to have a handle, right? Is that at gmail.com or? Okay, I see. Okay, wait a second. So there were a few of you are asking that you are not receiving the emails. So basically, it's not supposed to receive any emails. You can provide me your email address, and I will register all these emails for you on the portal. Email address.
你别开。
Not registered. Okay. Okay, so I see. So is everybody good now? I guess I'm not sure if I missed any requests, but should be like most of the access should be fine now. So Stephen, you are not supposed to receive any email. You can directly go to the portal and try to log in. Did you try that? Okay, so I believe so Jennifer, the password is Sage. You can try to use that to log in. No, so Jennifer, you are supposed to continue with Google and then use your Gmail to log in. Continue with Google, the first option, rather than the second one, because the second one is for non-Gmail users. No, the first option, not the second one. Continue with Google. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and continue the rest of the course. And I know that some of you may still have the problems. But if that's the case, after class, we can continue to log it in from the WeChat group. Okay, because we can't waste more time on this one. Okay, I'll continue. So for guys who already have access to the tools, there are a few options that you can explore, right? I'll introduce that one by one. So the first one, so from the dashboard, you can see all the functionalities we provided from this portal. We provide a conversation chatbot and the music, although it's just a few seconds, but this is actually the best that the generative AI tools can do today. And for basically for the conversation is also using ChatGPT 3.5. So the experience would be equivalent as you are using for the free plans here, right? So I know that some of you have access for GPT 3.5 in the OpenAI's website. But from this chat, underneath we are using ChatGPT's API, which means that the chatting experience and the intelligence is very similar as 3.5. Okay, and for image generation, it's now using DALL-E 2, which is also the product from ChatGPT. So the latest version is DALL-E 3, but we are now only using DALL-E 2. So the image it generates may not be perfect, but we have the plan to upgrade it very, very soon. So let me show some cases, right? So for example, if I start chatting with this chat box, I can ask some normal questions. For example, what do you think Yamiverse is, right? Yeah, so it could potentially refer to a fictional universe. Yeah, that's okay. I'll tell him that it's actually the name of another universe where all things are constructed by yummy food. Right. So the experience from this chat window is very similar as what we have for the ChatGPT 3.5, although it's not advanced as the ChatGPT 4. Okay. And for the image generation, I can ask the same question. Like for example, let me see, starlight spaghetti. Okay, I want to know how does the starlight spaghetti looks like. So I can ask it to generate 4 photos. Yeah, so it's actually only generate the spaghetti rather than the starlight, right? So I want the so I can give it a more detailed description about what I really want. I can tell that draw spaghetti with starlight as the topping. Imagine. Okay. It's a little bit better than that one, but it doesn't look yummy. Yeah, so because this is based on gel E2 version 2. Yeah. Usually what we do is to give it a few more tries with different prompts. So this is also called the prompt engineering, right? So we need to learn how to get a better prompt in order to get what we want. Okay. But this is a skill set that we need to practice. We need to use different prompts to get a better image generation. For example, I want with the cartoon style. Let's see how does it look. Yeah, so it gets more cartoon style for this one. Yeah. Yeah, so you guys can keep exploring the image generation. And for the videos is based on another model we get from the replicant AI. It's based on basically open source model. So the experience is not that good, but yeah, so this is the best that generative video can do. So for example, yeah, clownfish. Let's say that's okay. So yeah, I like to see with cotton. Yeah, Bill, I just maximized my screen already. This is the biggest I can show. Is it good for you? Video generation is the slowest because it consumes a lot of powers. That's how we come with the video, right? So basically the video is the sequence of the images. So if let's say there are 20 frames of the 20 frames of a video is basically the what's that? Yeah, so this also require a lot of prompt engineering to get a better experience. And for the music, let's try this one. So the same song for Christmas. Okay, because we have a Christmas here in Young Universe. Yeah. This is a part of music generation. The models are also one of the most advanced, I would say, the open source solutions for generative music. And it can only generate every time when you come up with a prompt, it can generate a few seconds music there. Oh, you guys cannot hear it? How to fix that? 还会这样 Okay, let me do one thing. I'll download it. Can you hear that? Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is for Christmas. Like it's a combination of a cheesy taste combined with a Christmas thing. I guess. Yeah. At least this is how does the AI take it. Okay. Okay. So okay, so the last one is about code, right? This is also the thing that we can explore like quite differently than than before, right? Because usually, for example, when you are trying to create a website, you learn how to use a JavaScript, HTML, and a lot of stuff before you can come up with a valid one, right? But today, we can utilize the power of generative AI to directly generate the code base for our websites. Like for example, I can tell that I can tell create a homepage for my personal website with HTML. I want it to have the sections. Yeah, what usually we'll have for our personal website. We should have of a bio, right? That's the first one. And the uh the standard of making new friends, right? If you want to make a new friend, you want to know what are their favorites and what I'm looking for, right? For my next friend. And for example, the projects, right? The projects you ever engaged in and awards. Okay. So for example, if you want to create a homepage for your website, yeah, so it generates code for you. But from the web page itself, from the tool itself, we can't tell how does it look like. So in that case, what you guys can do is to go to another website. What we call is the code pen. Okay. I also paste the link here. So what we can do is to directly copy this code. Because we know that this is the sort of HTML code, right? So we can directly paste here. Then we can preview all the content here. Yeah, so you guys can try it out. I just pasted the codepen.io, this website here. And right. And we can also further ask it to polish some parts of the website with a conversation. Right, for example. So the projects, you can tell it that I have 2 awards. The first one is the best cook 2056 in Yummy World annual. The second one is the this is the reason why we put the different year here is because in Yummy World they are using different they're using different calendars. Yeah, so and in that universe is already 2056 rather than 2023. Second one is best costume. Choose on 52, 53 for Halloween. Okay, so let's try that. So you can see that it will automatically update with the new code. And then we have the new items in your board section, right? But this is just a start point, right? Because we are learning all this stuff by looking at the result. And then we can follow up with the questions, what does these two make difference, right? So we can compare with these 2 versions. As the first one was having the sections of words, right? With only 1 parameter, insert the information. And for the second version, we use the table to replace that. That's how we come up with this approach, like to help you to learn much faster than simply reading from a document, right? You can compare these 2 versions, like the previous version is like this, and new version is like this, right? You can compare the difference and tell what's the difference, and tell how does every section, how does every text work. That's how the generative AI is changing our way of coding and all other stuff. Yeah, I guess in the future courses, in the future classes, we'll explore more details about that. But today is just like a brief introduction about the gen tools. Okay. So we need to go one step further, as we discussed just now, right? We were talking about the limitation of the ChatGPT or maybe the tools that we are using now, right? Because all the conversations are only happening on their UI. We can't directly use all these powers in our own apps or websites, right? When you are using ChatGPT, everything is happening in the context of ChatGPT itself. When you are using the Gen AI tool that I just provide you, all the conversation, all the generating experience are happening on the website only. It's not our own website, right? So what we can do if we want to master the power of generative AI for our own applications, right? Because at the beginning, we mentioned that we want to forge our own chain of thoughts and create avatar and host it to the altar in the future, right? To get ourselves into the Yamiverse more, to explore their stories and get chatting with their people. Yeah, so for that part, we basically we need to utilize one concept which is called API. API is application programming interface, right? So how to understand the API? This is the image that I got from the Yamiverse. Like this kid is in a gaslight, right, field. But in the universe of in the Yamiverse, things are working quite differently than what we are doing now here, right? If you go to gasoline, if a parents drive a car and they refill the gas, usually the mirror will give you just a gas, right? But in the Yamiverse, what you get is a bottle of the syrup. Yeah. So the syrup itself is a service that we want, the value we want, right? It's just like the power of generative AI. We wanted to generate the images. We wanted to generate the new values for us, just like a syrup. Yeah, we want to put all these things into our own bottle, right? Just like this kid is doing now. So this is a service. This is the value we want. However, we need to get access to this service because like this, all the syrup or these values are provided by the service providers, right? Some other companies like OpenAI or maybe AgiTrigger. AgiTrigger is my company, right? We provide that service. So in order to get that service, we need to access it from a gateway, just like host here, right? The host is like the gateway. It has the reference how you can get this access, right? How you can get this access. You need to use the host and pipeline all these syrups into a bottle, right? So this is the gateway we need to use. But it's not coming for free. That's why when we are using either the ChatGPT's API or maybe as you guys will ask me to engage yourself into the pro plan for our service, right? You always need to pay for that service. So that's why we come with the meters, right? Which is what we call the API key. You need to have this key as a success, just like a credit card that your parents holding, to take the reference of tracking the usage and eventually give out the payment for the service that you are using. If you want the full bottle of the syrup, you need to pay maybe $10. And if you just want half the bottle, then you may only need to pay $5, right? So this is according to usage, you need to pay money and you need to have the reference to track the usage, which is the API key. So this is a very important concept in the programming world, including our AI development, right? So because like underneath, we always need to use other services. So I'll give you one example how we get the ChatGPT's API. So what you see on the screen now is OpenAI's website. It's a platform provide API reference, okay? So this is the API reference, which means how you can utilize the API. And our target, as I just mentioned, right? Eventually, we want the power of generative AI to be hosted on our own avatar, own intelligent twins, and on websites, right? So we need to utilize their power. And so this is a document from the OpenAI, and it tells all the capabilities, like how can it generate the text, with what we call is the chat completions. Yeah, we'll get more details in the future courses, not in the camp, because camp is just 3 days, right? But we'll get that more to there. And we can also use it to call functions to create the so-called embeddings. And what makes it more fun is about the image generation. That's how you can explore from our Gen tool. Yeah, like here, the image. Underneath, we're actually using this API, right? Yeah, for the vision and text to speech, speech to text, all this stuff. And so this is the thing you need to provide, the API keys, right? You can see that for each of our projects, we have a different API keys. And for the next lesson, which is tomorrow's, you will get access to one of our other platforms. Yeah. As I showing here. I guess you guys you may still like remember the chatbot, My Intelligent Twin, on this website, right? So how underneath how we create its thoughts, like allow it to think about things, right? We generate the experience from this portal. There's a no coding platform, and we need to provide it with the connector credential. It's the API key that we provided. Yeah. So this is basically how does the API key works. Okay, so this is basically what we introduced today. We mastered the power of generative AI. So for the next step, which is tomorrow's lesson, we will explore together how to forge your chain of thought. So what is a chain of thought? It's just like the thing I just did provide you guys, is how to train our chatbot to empower this chatbot in our website. Yeah, but this is basically the first step. You need to determine how does this chatbot responds to the user's queries first. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do for tomorrow. And for the day after tomorrow, we will, it's not just for the chatting experience itself, we will further explore how to integrate with the figures, right? We need to allow the voice communication with the chatbot and give you the face so that we can start chatting with it. Yeah, so basically that's our 3-day plan. And yeah, so I would suggest you guys do the assignment of tonight. You can play around with our generative AI tools for the or maybe if you have a ChatGPT, you can explore the potentials for ChatGPT itself. But for the image generation or maybe other tools, you can utilize our new tools, generative AI tools here. Okay, you can explore the potentials like the coding and the image generation. I just showcase you guys. And the next thing is to prepare a text document, because eventually we want to create our intelligent twin, which is representative of yourself, right? As I showed at the beginning of the class, that's twin for me in the Yamiverse. So you need to prepare a text document to tell about yourself, right? For example, your bio, your interest, what you love, what's your favorite toy, what's your interest of the next projects, or what awards you winning, what grade are you in, what's your favorite courses, and what you hate, right? Anything that you want to put all this information into a text document. Okay, so that's what you need to prepare for. Yeah, and the size of document, it should be in a text format, and the size should be lesser than 500 KB. Yeah, we can't make it too large because there's a limitation there. If we go to the further courses, we can allow larger ones. But for now, for the next class, we should only allow 500 KB at maximum with all the information you want. Yeah, and it's not limited to just of yourself, right? So if you want to allow your digital twin, allow your intelligent twin to be capable to tell some sort of stories or maybe other stuff, feel free to explore that as well. Yeah, it doesn't have to be something about yourself. It can be other stuff. Yeah, TXT file is fine, or any plain text files. TXT is fine. Yeah. Okay, and I also want to take a few minutes to introduce the Sage course. Yeah, so the winter camp, we have 3 classes here. The class are, so Sage itself, SAGE, 4 letters, stand for 4 aspects, right? We have the software, which is the S, and analysis for A, game and art for G, and the E is embedded systems. Yeah, so we want to teach how, we want to explore with you guys in the Yamiverse. Oh, the whole thing is about Yamiverse. All the stories are having, they will have a lot of stories about their people, 6 group of people, and each of our class will be about one of their stories. Like the one we explored today is about the food rankings in that universe, right? But because like this, like winter camp is just a 3 like sample part of the whole thing, right? So we will have we will explore 4 directions, but you can choose anything, any direction in the future for the higher level of the courses to explore your interest, right? For the software side, we will like start by generating the chat flow and then low code programming and then integrate with the API I just introduced to you guys. It's not just for the OpenAI one, also with other Azure OpenAI interfaces. And for analysis, we are started by like the visualization plans, just like what I just showed you, right? The food ranking one. And then we do the visual exploration, and eventually we'll go to machine learning model training and the RAG, what we call the retrieval augmented generation stuff. And there's another branch for game and art. We will explore how to better prompt to the AI platforms to allow generative AI arts. And then we will integrate all these APIs into the gaming experience. So eventually you will be able to create your own Roblox experience with intelligent bots communication. And then we have the computer vision and the AR to integrate with your mobile apps. So you can explore like the real 3D objects in the environments and communicate with it. And eventually we have the embedded systems. We start by introducing Raspberry Pi, and then we also integrate the chatting experience with it, and further advance that into the computer vision. We will capture the image and for embedded systems. So eventually we will ask you guys to build up a bot. Okay, so this is the whole program, and it's not like coming with one bench. Like we started with the first course, and then you guys can explore what interests you most for one or more from these 4 directions. Yeah. Yeah, so this is we also have a trailer for this one. Yeah, so I'll play this our trailer so you can learn something more about Sage program itself.
Hi, what is the Sage?
Today, our students have been honing their skills and expanding their knowledge in various fields alongside their academic education. Among the most popular areas are software development, data science and analysis, game and art design, and embedded systems. With the advent of AI technology, these domains are evolving at an unprecedented pace, outstripping previous technological advancements. In response, we're excited to unveil Sage, a cutting-edge youth education program. Sage offers a comprehensive curriculum covering these 4 essential areas, seamlessly integrated with the latest advancements in AI technology.
In the realm of intelligent software, Sage begins with the basics of creating web applications through conversational workflows and no-code solutions, gradually progressing to the development of sophisticated AI-driven applications. AI-driven analytics, The journey starts with an introduction to GPT-assisted data analysis and visualization. From there, we delve into more complex topics like feature engineering, machine learning algorithms, and fine-tuning large language models. In the generative game and art domain, Sage provides hands-on experience with popular generative AI tools for concept development, as well as image and video generation. The program escalates to setting up professional AI workflows and crafting immersive gaming experiences. Finally, in the realm of autonomous electronics, Sage participants will learn to integrate AI APIs with single-board computers and incorporate voice and display communication hardware. This knowledge forms the foundation for building advanced robotic solutions.
Sage empowers students to delve into their interests gradually, advancing from beginner to advanced levels. The curriculum is crafted with cutting-edge industry practices and solutions, ensuring relevance and practicality rather than outdated concepts. Every instructor in the Sage program is not only professionally trained but also actively engaged at the forefront of their respective industries. Join Sage, explore the future patterns.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. So that's pretty much for today. So I guess we will have the Q&A session. Do you guys have any questions? You can raise your hand and we can chat. So as you guys can see on the screen, the whole website here are generative knowledge, is like the outcome of generative AI, including the layout itself and some text and wordings. They are also coming from the GPT powered AI generative. And for this chatbot, we are coming from Agentize and also Azure AI solutions. And all these images as well. Yeah. This is how AI are changing our workflow today. So Alex, yeah, that's a good question. For the text document homework, I would suggest that you guys to put that TXT file rather than Word. Word is also acceptable, but the size of Word would be much larger than the TXT file. Yeah, because it contains a lot of information about the formatting stuff, which is unnecessary, right? We only want to fit the bot with the it doesn't matter about the format. So which part of the Sage is the Python belongs to? Okay, so that's a good question. Wait a sec. Let me bring it up. So Sage course has different levels, right? So the winter camp today and for tomorrow, like 3 classes here is a part of a BGI, which is like intro level course. And it basically like explore 4 aspects, both for the software engineering and analysis, game and art, and embedded systems. And it doesn't require a coding base. right? And when you guys like explore the level 0, then it comes to level 1. So the Python coding, I'm not talking about the Python coding for the second part of this winter camp. That's another plan. For Sage itself, the Python is more contributed to the analysis part, A part. Yeah, because like from this path, we will do the AI assistant data analysis first, and go to the feature explorer, and then go to the machine learning models for the classifiers, recommenders, as I just told you guys, right? Conventional ones, and eventually go to the large language model and RAG. Yeah, so Python belongs to this part. And for the software development, is more JavaScript path, the full stack development, development for mobile and web applications. Okay, so Molly is asking, so the homework is just like an intro of ourselves. Molly, this is a good question. So the homework is to prepare a text document about a self-introduction or any things that you are interested to fit your intelligent boat. Yeah, because like in tomorrow's lesson, we will teach you guys how to use this document to create an intelligent agent for yourself, intelligent twin for yourself, right? So the introduction is not a kind of a self-introduction itself. It's like the material that you get prepared in order to train this digital twin for yourself. Yeah. Aiden is asking, what is a text document? Text document, if you guys have the Windows machine, text document is basically a TXT file. Word file is also acceptable. But I would suggest to use the TXT file because the size is much smaller. Yeah. Matthew is asking for the assignments. Yeah, this is the assignment here, as I show you on the screen. Aiden is asking, are we going to get the Roblox NPC coding part? It's not a part of the winter camp, but it will be a part of the BGAI. Yeah, you can ask your parents to contact with Shelly for more details. It will start the whole course because like the winter camp is just 3 days, right? We can't explore too much things. It's just like a few introductions about that. Yeah, so for the Roblox NPC part, it will come later in January or starting for February, according to Victoria Education School's schedule. Yeah. Molly, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so it's about yourself. That's an option for you. It's about you yourself, or maybe some other topics you want the chatbot to speak, to respond to users' answers. But make it simple. Yeah, just something about yourself, and we will use that for tomorrow. You're right. Yeah. Okay. So Sherry is asking, how do we create a TXT? TXT creation is very, let me give you an example. TXT file, because I'm using MacBook, so I'm not sure how, in Windows machine or MacBook, there's a text editors, right? So yeah, as I'm showing on the screen, this is a text editor. So you can say that name, Daniel Pan, age. I want to expose my age. A little bit too old. Yeah, so a grade, let's say that a grade is right, grade maybe grade 7, stuff like that. Yeah, and my interest, right? My interest. You can also list out the first. I love Roblox, playing Roblox. Fortnite maybe. also like a coding a game, stuff like that, right? Or maybe I'm not sure, play Barbie, stuff like that. Watch movies. For example, you can also optionally add more section here. Favorite movies, right? Lego movie, Batman, Lego Batman. I'm not sure. Yeah, so you can list them out, right? Other movies and friends I want. Friends I want to be a funny guy, right? Or maybe like love dancing or other stuff. Yeah, whatever you want. And the awards I win, awards, maybe you have some sort of different awards and other stuff, right? So after you put all this information in, you can save that as the TXT file. Or doc file is also okay, but yeah, doc file is also okay. Yeah, doc file, or maybe text editor, just the TXT file. Yeah, it's quite straightforward. Just put whatever information you want to share other guys, or ask the chatbot to learn. Okay, and sorry, just close this one. Yeah, Alex, that's correct. Yeah, you can create that from the notepad. You can use either typing or maybe like export it from your existing file. Anyway, Sherry is asking either we should use the ChatGPT or by ourselves. And any way you want. Yeah, just to make it. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't. We don't restrict that path. So Matthew is asking the Gen AI tools. This is what. This is. I'm not sure if you were here earlier, right? So we register all these tools, and some of you may not have the access for it yet. This is the website that is also from my company, Trigger. It allows access to chat through the GPT 3.5 image generation videos. So if you were not here earlier, or maybe like during the break session, you didn't set it up properly, then you can ask your parents to chat in the WeChat group. As a follow-up for the rest of the days, we will set it up. Yeah, that's where we find the Gen AI tools. And feel free to use ChatGPT directly as well. Yeah, that's also okay. Where do we send it? So for this assignment, you don't need to send it anywhere. You just keep it for the usage for the next class, which is tomorrow, right? Because tomorrow we gonna use it. And it's just a 1 day. There's no way for us to review all of your guys' assignments. So this is quite straightforward. Just get it prepared, and tomorrow we will use it. Google Docs can, okay, Google Docs cannot be directly used because like this is going to be a file, right? You can type in the Google Docs, but eventually you need to export that document into either TXT file or Word docx file into your local storage. Yeah, because like we need to upload that one. Yeah, Aiden. Yeah, so I guess I answered your question already. Yeah, after this one, just keep your local. Yeah, we don't need to send it anywhere. Well, these are all good questions. Okay, so any more questions? It's AI based of William is KB. Yeah, KB is like 1,000 bits, 1,000 bytes actually. Sorry. Oh no, bits. Okay, Sherry, you ask a very good question. So is AI based off code? I guess like when you are reaching to higher sophisticated into coding, you may more clearly tell the difference from the AI models, machine learning models, and coding. Basically, when we are doing the coding, for example, if you are using JavaScript or Python for the coding, you are kind of like supervising the machine how it should be executing for the next steps, right? It's like instructional. Yeah. But the AI, the machine learning models is granting the machine more freedom. Yeah, you still like give it the instructions, but you allow it to come up with a sort of a more free output with for outputs, right? It's more like randomized the answers, and nobody can identify which part of the AI system is doing what job. It's so hard. Yeah, so that's basically the difference between programming and AI itself. Yeah, so in Sage program, we are using AI to assist our learning about coding. Yeah, that's the major part. Because like you see that we don't like bootstrap from learning HTML and JavaScript, all this stuff. We are asking the conversational AI to assist our learning progress. Yeah, because like you can serve us to get a more intuitive ways to learn all the bases. Like it's not like a bottom up, it's more like a top down. We get a result and we ask the AI how it comes up with the next block, and then break it down into more details. Yeah. And the AI model itself is not even based on any language. Basically, usually we use Python to train a model, but the AI model itself is not a binary code. It's basically a bunch of the what we call the weights. It's just a bunch of the floating numbers. Yeah, and with each connections to each another one. Yeah, so this is kind of like a binary, but binary is like a 1 or 0, but this is a floating numbers connected to each to one. Yeah, and nobody can tell what exactly this one is. It's just like a neuron in our brain, right? You can't give a definition of one neuron. What does it do? No, but for coding, we do that. For coding, we have a reference for every variables that we define, right? But that's quite different. Yeah, we will get more into that if you choose analysis and get into level 2, I guess. Yeah, when you come there, you get more insight there. How does the machine learning models doing? Sherry is yeah 1 0 0 1 is more like the programming. That's how we do the JavaScript and Java and C Sharp, C++, right? You can take it that way. It's not like in general we can take it that way. The binary code, that's for the programming language, programming applications, the binaries, right? But for machine learning, it's a bunch of the floating numbers that will form a model. Yeah, with some randomized stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but that's a very generic way. I would not say like 100%. It's just easy for you guys to understand. As long as you learn more and explore more, you will get more insight about how does it work. Yeah, but yeah, at the beginning, I guess it's the easy way to understand. William is asking KB. KB is kilobytes, kilobit. So like for example, let me show you something. Yeah, So for example, in this photo, we have a bunch of files here, and the size here, right? The KB, 129 KB for this logo. You see that? This is the size of the documents. That's the KB. Okay. I guess 500 KB byte. Yeah, it's not bit, byte, but also okay. Okay, so I guess that's pretty much for today. Thank you guys very much, and we're running out of time as well.